Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Security by Default podcast. I'm the host of the show, Joe Carson, and it's always a pleasure to be here bringing very amazing people, interesting guests, people who really change the world. And I've been really excited about this episode. A friend of mine who recommended that I get in touch with this person and bring them on the podcast to share their story. So it's an honest and a pleasure to meet Hieu. I'll pass it over to you. Better for you to share who you are, what you do, and share a little bit with the audience your hacker origin, how you get into the industry.
Yes. Thank you, Joseph Carson, and I'm glad to be here today. My name is Hieu Minh Ngo. Currently, I'm working as a cyber terrorist investigator. My background is kind of a little bit special. I was a cyber criminal more than 10 years ago. I was running dark web forums, and I was also like selling US identity to other hackers as well too. And I got locked up in the US for like almost 7 years in prison. And I got back home in 2020 working in the field of cybercrime investigator.
So when early in your career, how did you get started? What was the kind of journey? I mean, many of us, even myself, really early in my career.
Right.
You've got curiosity, you're exploration, you've got this kind of like passion for exploration. Yeah. Where did yours start?
Like long story short, right? I got started in the field of hacking when I was like 13, 14 years old. And everything kind of started out of curiosity and also the passion that I have for computer science. And growing up as just a normal kid, in a little town in Vietnam. It's called Cam Ranh. And I was growing up over there during my middle school. The first time I got in touch with computer when I was like 14 years old. And that's what one of my first computer. Back then, we having like personal, but kind of like personal computer, like desktop.
Yep.
Something very luxury more than 15, 20 years ago. And my family, I got lucky that I was grown up in a family that they was having a little electronics store in Vietnam. They selling like TV, freezer, and radios, and also computers. And from that, I was started to wondering about the internet and the computer, how it's work, how they can build it computer, how they can build this software. And I started to exploit the internet. But back then, internet is very expensive.
Very, very costly. Even when I started, I was chatting with a friend and we were talking about dial-up. I was like dial-up.
Yeah, dial-up is something very luxury.
It was very expensive, and you were always looking for how to get the cheapest. What was the best time of day to access? What was the cheapest rate, or who had free access? And you tried to connect to their internet.
Man, all kind of chicks. Anyway, like back then, because internet so expensive, I remember like $5 for 1 hour to the internet dial-up. And the sound of the dial-up modem is, I still remember that.
It's still like, imprinted in our heads.
It's still here in my head, but something is kind of like memory, something that, like it's kind of in my childhood, that's I never forget. And I remember, during the nighttime, especially in the midnight, there's no internet, and need the money. But back then, I don't know how to make money online, and that's why I'm wondering, how we can get like free internet access, free internet dial-up accounts.
Yep.
And I went to the one of the internet cafe in my little town, and I was searching for that tool and searching for the people in that community if they can share that tool for me. And suddenly, I found out, there is some website that they sharing this tool. But back then, like I don't know how this tool work. I don't know about programming. I just use it. So I use it to scan the internet, around my area to get in the internet dial-up accounts for free. But then I was using that for a month or two, being on the internet all day long for free. And suddenly the internet service provider in Vietnam, they send the code paper, kind of a warning to my parents' house. And they were so surprised and upset at me because in that document they say, in this house somebody was stealing the internet accounts from other companies and using that kind of unauthorized access.
Yep.
And my parents, they was very upset, and then they yelling at me, and but at that time I was so young and very childish, and then my parents, they so worried. That's why they still pay for the fine.
Yeah.
I remember back then like up to like 5,000 USD for the fine.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of money back then.
That's a lot. Yes, that's
A lot of money back then. It could be nowadays. It could be like equally like 50,000 USD easily.
I think in inflation rates is probably close.
Yeah, inflation rate could be like that, like more than 15 years ago. So I guess but back then my parents, especially my dad, he saying, yeah, he think I should be sent to Ho Chi Minh City to learn more computer in the right way.
Okay.
And then they sent me to my uncle's house, and I was living there during the summertime in my senior in kind of in the middle school.
Yep.
When I was like 8th grade, and I was living there for 3 months with my uncle at a little apartment. And my uncle, he got a computer store selling hardware and software for other company. And I was learning a lot, like how to build computer from scratch, like put on the main board, on the RAMs, on the CPU, on the chips together, stuff like that. How to fix that.
Very similar to my childhood.
Right. So I was learning a lot about that. It was fun. Then I was learning about programming as well too. One of my first website I built is also under my nickname, HieuPC.com.
HieuPC, yes, that's your.
I was sharing free software on that website for other people, and it was fun, to be one of my first website and to learn about programming. It's very cool. So I, keep learning there, and when I finish before I finished the summertime in Ho Chi Minh City, I met up this guy at the internet cafe in Ho Chi Minh City, and I was passing to his dark screen, and I was wondering what kind of forums and website he was browsing to, and I was asking him, and he answered me. He told me it is underground hacking forums in Vietnam and also in Russian. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's something new, something I never know before. I just know like regular IT forums. Back then we had forums. We don't use Facebook or Twitter, right?
Nope. It was all bulletin boards, forums, chat rooms.
Chat rooms, right? And it's fun. I told him, help me to open an account over there because you have to be voted.
Yes.
You have to be invited. So I got my first account, the underground hacking forum, under my alias HieuPC. I learned a lot from that, technically. And I got back to my little town, Cam Ranh, to finish my middle school. But I was still hacking. So every night I was begging my parents to give me some money so I can went to the internet cafe. Because back then, I remember when in the last year of my middle school, the internet getting better. We have like high-speed internet,
faster and cheaper.
They call the ADSL,
Yes.
right? ADSL internet. But I have to go to like internet cafe to have that. Right. So I went there and I didn't play game. I didn't, went to any like regular forum anymore. I just on the underground forums all night long.
Wow.
And talking to other hackers. And it was fun. I was learning from them. And I was learning a lot of hacking techniques. And from there, everything changed me. Everything changed completely. I was writing like hacking ebooks to share with other people, and it's just for fun, share for free. And I was hacking into like many websites just to put my my alias or my information right there. You got hacked by UPC, stuff like that. Cause something very stupid because back then, like when you hack the people, there is no laws at all. There isn't even like no cybercrime laws in Vietnam back in the day.
Yeah, I
Everything
remember
is just
even for me when I started getting,
right.
I think my switch from being a system administrator to switching
Yeah.
into security. I remember it was 2001, and there was a hacker hacked into our networks, and we were tracing them back using Tracer T 3D, the whole 3D visualization, and we'd literally traced them back to the house, and it ended up being about a 13 or 14-year-old kid, but
Wow.
the country where we trace back to, there was no laws.
There's
So,
no law, right?
and that was, I mean, in most of, even the thousands, many countries didn't have updated laws, especially in emerging countries. Even today, there's quite a few countries that still don't have updated
Oh
laws
yeah.
that actually
Wow.
has abuse of computer misuse, sex, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's still countries today that don't have laws to prohibit hacking.
Wow. I didn't know that.
But,
Wow. So Vietnam, it just had that
mhm,
lately. I remember in 2010,
mhm,
2011, something like
mhm.
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was hacking left and right because back then,
Mhm.
vulnerabilities of the system everywhere.
Yes.
Very easy to exploit, very easy to get in and get out.
Mhm.
It's look like your house.
Yep.
You can get in anytime you want, or you can get out anytime you want.
Mhm.
There's no like no security guards, no security protection at all.
Yep.
Basically back then, so many vulnerabilities like the single injection,
Yep.
like
So
man,
many misconfigurations,
so
SQL injection, default
many.
credentials.
Man. And then I was hacking it just for fun, and I
Mhm.
was hacking like credit cards and
Mhm.
bank account, and it was sharing for free. Back then, forums is just like that. People sharing technique, people sharing information for free.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
then things getting more seriously when I got into when I finished middle school and went to high school. During my junior year high school, I met up this guy. He was so good at making money online.
Mhm.
He know how to make money online. He know how to get the money out of the
Mhm.
credit card and the bank account. So he was teaching me how to use my skill to hack other company
Mhm.
to get the credit card and bank account for him
Yep.
so he can use that to make money. So we
Yep.
split the money 50-50. And back then I was like 16 years old
Mhm.
and I was making like a little more than 1,000 USD per day.
Yep.
And I split the money with him, doing nothing. I just hack in and then me and him, we collaborate together.
Mhm.
I remember one of the funny thing that I still remember that me and him, we found out there was
Mhm.
that we can abuse that website to learn with the money. So we was acting as real players
Mhm.
to play with each other, and we cash out the money.
Yep.
We went to the internet cafe and we pay for all the hours for
Mhm.
all the computers in that internet cafe, and we set up
So,
the accounts, the fake
mhm.
accounts, and then we have only two real accounts, and we play with like tons of different fake accounts
Mhm.
in that internet cafe, and we know the cost already, so we just moving the money around and we cash out to
Mhm.
our real account. And this fake account we deposit with the stolen credit card
Mhm.
and also the stolen bank account. And man, it's just so crazy that it was making so much money from that. But then I saved that money and then I finished high school. I paid for my school fee
Mhm.
in New Zealand because because I know whatever I was doing is bad. It's not right. And I wanted to be somebody better. I want to be a real computer scientist.
Yep.
And then I told myself, I have to quit it. I want to be someone better.
Mhm.
And I paid for my school fee. I went to New Zealand. I learned about computer scientist. But within 3 months or 4 months, I got back to the hacking community again. And at this time I was hacking like e-commerce website in New Zealand, stealing a lot of credit card, and I was selling this red credit card information, and I almost got caught in New
Okay.
Zealand because I was selling like fraudulent music concert tickets. Because I used a stolen credit card, I
Which
bought
is
a
which is
whole
one of the
bunch of
common methods to launder to launder the money is transferred into something of asset value, which is
Yeah,
concert tickets, sports
right.
events, sometimes even like gift
Gift
cards.
cards,
Gift
gift
cards is
cards.
another, another big one. It's
Even right nowadays, it's still the
mhm.
same thing.
Yep, it's the
Now
same
nowadays,
method.
same
It's
thing.
very much
Same
similar. Yeah,
method.
yep.
Back then, like I was abusing iTunes gift
Hmm.
cards,
Yep.
like and selling this gift card to other people with a cheaper price. The people
Hmm.
bought a lot.
Yep.
A lot of people buy it. The same thing with the music concert ticket.
Hmm.
So man, I was abusing the ticket master
Yep.
and make so much money from there. But they got reported that so many of my music concert tickets that was bought by stolen credit card. And then
Hmm.
they found out about that. They reported back to the police, and the police they called me and they freeze my bank account. I was
Hmm.
so scared, and I returned all the money to the police so they can refund to the victims. But luckily, they didn't catch me. After that, everything kind of looked good. But within a day or two after that, I was so scared. I bought my airplane ticket and I ran away
Hmm.
with just. And then I just stayed in New Zealand for almost a year. Couldn't finish my dream to be a computer scientist. So I got back home in 2009 and 10. And my parents, they got so mad at me.
Did you tell your
Uh,
parents?
yeah, they told me why I got back to New Zealand, and I mean why I got back from New Zealand, and I have to tell them the truth
Hmm.
about the situation. So they was so mad at me. They got so kind of like disappointed at me.
Hmm.
I promised with my parents that I'm not going to do that again. Trying to be a better person, but couldn't last long.
Yep.
Same old same again. I was within 6 months. I was hanging out with like other bad guys
Hmm.
again. I
What was the
remember at the
what was the motivation at that point? Was it the
yeah.
was it the curiosity learning still, or was it
No, it's just like
the
chit
financial side?
chat and
Okay,
have
or
fun.
social, the social aspect of it.
So yeah, kind of in like
Hmm.
because we have a group of kind of like underground hacking members, and then we constantly meeting with each other
Hmm.
offline.
Hmm.
We have
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
Back then, we usually like we went to like internet cafe or we went to like coffee shop
Mhm.
and to meet up with each other, and we have fun. We talking and chatting.
Yeah. Sharing what happened.
Right,
Sharing
right.
the techniques or new findings.
Right. But then, the thing I told them, man, I don't want I remember I told them in that group, I told them, man, I almost get caught in New
Hmm.
Zealand. I don't
Hmm.
want to touch the stolen credit card anymore. It's so
Hmm.
dangerous. And they give me an advice that they say, Hugh, you got some skill. Why you don't looking for, like
Hmm.
US identity, like a social security number and date of birth
Hmm.
or revelation. I say something new to me, and they say it's good business too. They say it's safer than credit card business because it's not bank account, it's not money, it's not like the
Some people's identities.
right. It's just like information. So I say yes, maybe it's safer. So I was spending like almost a month, and I was hacking a lot of different like data brokers in the
Hmm.
US, and eventually, like I was hacking one of the major data broker in the US,
Hmm.
and I gained access to their database. And then after that, I just kind of, man, I said, man, maybe this is safer. Maybe I should open a website
Hmm.
and integrate the database that I got into this website.
Hmm.
And finally, I got everything set up within a month,
Hmm.
and I was running the webs, the underground dark web forums,
Hmm.
the website
Yep.
to sell US identity to other cyber criminals.
Hmm.
Just within a day or two, I just see the money coming into my pocket like crazy.
Hmm.
I remember back then I was using Liberty Preserve to receive the money
Hmm.
and learn with the money. It's some kind of like PayPal
Yep. Hmm.
or Bitcoin nowadays, but
Hmm.
it's not like cryptocurrency or blockchain, but
Hmm.
kind of like virtual currency.
Yep.
that being used by cybercriminal and money laundering back then.
Typically just credits. You're getting credits, and you can check out
Yes.
credits.
So I remember within a day or two, the money coming into my Liberty Reserve account like crazy, like almost $1,000 per day. And after that, the money come to like $5,000 a day, $10,000 a day, like crazy. And I say, wow, this is really, really good business. But the thing is, like when you hacking into this company, they find out and they fix the vulnerabilities. So I keep hacking, kind of like back and forth, and
Yeah,
not stable.
the
And
whack-a-mole.
I
You
see
close one door, you
business
get through
doing
the
like
next.
this is not
Yeah.
good. To do the business like this is not good because you have to hack them.
Yep.
And then if you got unlucky, they fix the vulnerability and that's it, game over. And then you have to keep hacking them. So I say it's not good. It's not stable. So I find out there is another way that I could get the account officially legitimate. And then I obtain a fake identity of a private investigator and I impersonate that guy
Okay.
from Singapore, and then I apply for like a private investigator account at the data broker system. Back then, the one of the one that I abused them is it was the US Coast Venture. Later, it got acquired by Experian, and I was using that account and paying for them like every month, paying for them like 20,000 to 40,000 every month. And I was selling a lot of data from 2011 to 2000 at the end of 2013.
Yeah, but for only
And
like
then
almost over 2 years.
right, I got like I remember 3 or 4 different reseller that's working under me
Yep.
and to operate the same system that I built. That's how it's worked. And I keep running them like that until at the end of 2013.
Almost like a
Until the
pyramid.
US Code French, I mean, until the experience, they find out everything about my fraudulent activities. And the US Secret Service, they got involved too. And that's it. It's game over. They shut down my website. They shut down my server. They got into my email, my Gmail account. They got everything about my identity. So they lure me to Guam, the U.S. territory, and then I got arrested in Guam in February 7, 2013.
Well, what was that experience like for you? What was when you realized that everything's coming to an end from that perspective? From being, I guess you were extradited out to Guam, and then they did the official
Yeah,
arrest there. What was that experience like?
oh, man, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like hell on earth. Man, they was extradite me from U.S. territory, the Guam Island, to Hawaii, to California, to Las Vegas. Man, too many different states that I couldn't remember. And during my time in prison, basically first 2 years, kind of like before my final sentence, from 2013 to 2015, they was moving me around so many jails and so many states that I have to be to, and unbelievable, so many kind of nightmares to me. And I remember one of the hardest time during my time in incarceration. It was the time when I was in Guam Island, because I remember over there, there's no blanket, there's no pillow, no nothing. You sleep on the floor, kind of on the ground technically.
Yeah.
All right, because this is the island. Is kind of the environment is not very good at all. And I couldn't sleep well, couldn't eat well, and I was so stressed at that time. But things getting better day by day, time by time. I was learning a lot about myself and keep myself busy during my time in incarceration through like educational training program. to like working in prison. I was working in a library, I was working in the kitchen, I was working in the laundry, and it's fun, like keep my mind busy and also do something good. Try to be a role model in prison. So during my time in prison, I got no incidents at all. Everything looked good. Keep myself like staying positive. And
Because the original sentence was 13 years.
13 years. Yeah, I got sentenced in 2015. I remember in the summertime of 2015, I got sentenced from 156 months, equally 13 years in federal prison. At first, it was up to like 43 or 45 years in prison, but they reduced that time because I was supporting the U.S. government for many things.
Yep.
And also helping them a lot of things. But then, one of the things that very surprising me, because most of the court that I've been to, right, to give my testimony, like it just like sharing my story, my life story, like look like I was talking to you now, right now at the moment, the same thing. But in more details, like from my childhood to, the day I become a hacker to the day I become a cyber criminal. So I remember during the summertime in 2019, suddenly, the prison guards, they wake me up. They say, Hieu, you need to back up your stuff. You go. I say, man, I was doing my time. I have no charges anymore. Man, you make me worry, and I so worried because I don't want them supersede in my case, like maybe they find out something new or they got a new charge. I say, man, I was so nervous, but they put me on bus. And then they transfer me to the airplane. So many different roles. And I went back to my kind of like the first one, kind of like one of my first prison, and also the prison or the jail in New Hampshire that sentenced me before. So I was staying there. I didn't know anything. I don't know why they sent me here for what. I was doing my time, and things changed a lot. After that, I was waiting for the news that why they sent me here. So I was sitting there in the jail in New Hampshire for almost like 4 or 5 months for nothing. Nobody tell me anything.
No one was explaining what was going on. You didn't have any legal counsel, or like it was like she helping you?
Before I have, but after my sentence, I don't need anymore because it's so expensive, right? Right. So I don't need anymore. When I was doing my time, okay, that's it. Bye. Like, okay, you good. But anyway, I remember around like November or December of 2015, they suddenly the federal court they call me. They call me back to the federal court and they say we need your help on this case.
Okay.
They say, you do the same thing. You just in more detail. You just standing there and sharing your story in front of the jury and also in front of the judge, the federal judge. And I was sharing my story like almost 3 hours, like 3 hours. And after that, I feel so good. I don't know why. I was feeling so good to share everything. And suddenly, the federal court, one of the federal court, the public defender, he called me. Hieu, we got a good news for you that you got immediately released. You got time served from federal prison. Now you become a free man. I said, wow, man, I was shocking and I was crying. I say, I couldn't say anything. Right. I got fish. I just like this. And I called my family. I was sharing with them the good news, but they couldn't believe it at all because I still in jail. They only believe when they got home. But they still keep their hope and faith. And like I got lucky that I forgot to tell you, I got lucky that during my court to re-sentence me, the one of my teacher in that jail, she also showed up in a court. She's a counselor from outside, and she always came to the jail and teaching other inmates, the kind of like the prisoners, to train their mind to be a better person and stuff like that. She's an old lady, and we still keep in touch until today. I just messaged her like an hour ago. She was living in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yes, she was living in New Hampshire. Very cool lady, and she supported me so much. She and the other old man as well too. But that old man, he just passed away 7 years ago. These people, and I always be grateful about their support, and also helping me so much about the mentality, and also keeping me stay positive and boosting me to be in the right path. And finally, I got time served at the end of 2019. But the bad thing is the COVID-19 happens.
Yes.
So I got, right. I got, this time I'm no longer in jail anymore, but they detain me. They send me to the immigration center.
Yes.
And I was staying there for almost 8 months, waiting for the airplane to get home.
Okay. So
and finally, I got home.
8 months in the immigration center.
Yeah, immigration. 8 months immigration. Like, you just chill and relax. But at least, I know I'm about to go home.
Yeah.
So, but like I always carried my prison journals, because I was writing like almost 7 different journals during my time in prison, planning my future, and kind of like strengthen my thoughts and my behavior. And I brought that with me when I got back home, and I've always written that, and because of that, it also taught me a lot about myself, and I use that to kind of guiding me into the right path of the future.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of stuff that I wrote in those journals that I apply in the current, at the moment of whatever I'm doing, and it is something I'm very grateful for those time in prison. Even though it put me down, but at the same time it bring me up.
Yeah.
It bring me up to realize that what I have done in prison in the past.
It allows you to kind of put to your
Right.
perspective and context into.
Yes.
We always talk about, one of the most important is it's not the destination, it's the journey that you go on. It's that, the social sphere that you get into. And as long as from your case, basically, what's your moral code? And it sounds like you had the time to think about your own direction and the path that you were going forward.
Yeah. My moral code, during my time in prisons is about to be honest. One of the hard things, I believe, one of the hardest things in life is about to be honest to yourself. It's not about to be honest to other people. To be honest to other people is easy.
Yes.
Very easy. But to be honest to yourself is totally different story. Very, very, very different story.
Absolutely.
I remember I got locked up in 2013, right? I thought in 2015 I become a better man already. I was thinking different, but it's not. I was still thinking like a criminal until 2019. During the summer time of 2019, I was changing my thoughts and my behavior, because I was, trying to be honest to myself for the first time. All the bad things, even the little things in my life, in my childhood, during my young man until the day I got locked up. So everything, all the bad things, even the worst thing, I talk to myself, and after that, it just changed me completely. Because, I see myself as kind of like an evil man, and I told myself, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to be somebody different, and I will do it.
And that's a big change to make
Right.
that happen. So what was, I mean, usually in our lives, we have these moments of path and direction changes. When you return back to Vietnam, so after you had the 8 months in the immigration center and you got home, what was the kind of, I'm assuming there was other interventions that set you even on the right path even more. What was that like?
Right.
So when you returned, what was to take your skills? Because you have amazing knowledge and skills. What was the kind of, the moments that helped navigate that into using it for the right reasons and
Right.
helping make the world a safer place?
Right. That's true. Like the day I got back home in August 2020, I got lucky that I got approached by the Vietnamese government. They recruited me as a cybersecurity researcher
And that
for
was
the
in the
national
National Cybersecurity
yeah
Center. Yeah, yes,
for the National Cybersecurity Center.
mm-hmm.
As a cyber threat hunter. And since then, from 2020 until 2000, at the end of 2024, I was working over there. And also when I got back home, I also started with a non-profit organization
Mm-hmm.
doing the anti-scam, anti-phishing, and helping other people in Vietnam. And until now, I still running there, like almost 5 years already, and collaborate with many other big tech companies and cybersecurity companies around the world, and helping a lot of people, like millions and millions of people, against
That's
like scammers, against like hackers, stuff like that. And during my time in National Cybersecurity Center, I was helping the law enforcement for chasing and hunting the cybercriminal and hackers in Vietnam, and arresting like a little more than 200 people. Right.
so when
Right.
you think about the skill, that each of
The
those
skill and
individuals.
also the deep knowledge about
Mm-hmm.
like the hacking communities, and also the connection in my
Mm-hmm.
network. To me, it's fun to hunt cyber criminal because it's just like looking at me when I was back in the day. Kind of like me in the mirror.
Yep.
Technically, it's
It's
fun.
that reflection is. I mean,
Kind of like a fast reaction.
do you hope that when you're catching, like, helping the NCSE and helping catching them,
Right.
do you hope that it also allows you to help them use their skills for good potentially in the future? Is it kind of one of those goals to
Right.
help set them on the right path as well?
Yeah, that's also one of my goals, and even until now, I'm still mentoring and
Mhm.
also teaching in university, sharing my story to motivate them to do the right things. And I was be able to change the minds of many young hackers to do the right things and follow me to build good projects to help the people. And basically, like some of the project that we built recently, applying the artificial intelligence to automated detecting like phishing and scam website in real time,
Okay.
and also like building like a new project like personal security checklist. Helping them to do on the checklist of their social media profiles, and on their like kind of like cyber hygiene,
Yep.
to help them to
Yeah.
be ready
Because that's
and to be
important. I
protected.
always
Right.
find that we can only be as good as our social sphere.
Right.
And the more the people around us that we can actually make sure that they protect themselves,
Right.
it makes society a much safer place.
Right. I think one of the things is that the hackers or the scammer, right? They always targeting like human. The first thing is people.
Yep.
So to raise the awareness for them is the number one thing that this will reduce a lot of cyber crimes. And at the same time, I was talking with a lot of like black hat hackers, very young, kind of like still in high school. And I was talking to them, and a few of them, they listen to me and they follow me. And until now, they've been doing well and helping a lot of people on the internet. One of them, he got a scholarship in the U.S. and right now he in the U.S.
Okay.
He just got back. He just I remember he got to the U.S. 2 years ago, right? He got a scholarship like 75%, stuff like that, right? He's doing well,
I think that's amazing because I mean I think
right?
I know I grew up in Ireland and
Right,
UK, and sometimes there's a little bit different opportunities in order to put people on the right path. I think in countries like Vietnam, when you were growing up, there probably wasn't a lot of those opportunities. So I think it's great what you're doing today is making those opportunities possible in order to make sure that catching those who have a genuine talent at a young age before
right,
they start, they're still at that curiosity, the learning and the social aspect of it, and they may have not hit that monetary motive portion yet.
right,
There's still before they get to that, the difference between being a curiosity hacker and a criminal. The
right.
earlier you catch them, the earlier you get them and help them use that skill for a positive way. I think it's crucial. Also, you've also done a huge amount of work in making a lot of products secure as well. I
Yeah,
understand that you've been helping from Apple side of
right.
technologies, and also received numerous awards as well
Yeah,
for your change into to kind of really
yeah,
laser focusing what you learned about yourself and that reflection from a positive kind of charge.
right.
So do you want to share some of the things about the awards as well? I can't determine which awards you received, local awards in Vietnam you received. Yes.
Yeah, I received two major awards in
Hmm.
Vietnam, the Vietnam Talents Awards and
Hmm.
also the Made in Vietnam for
Hmm.
my products
Hmm.
that helping the society for free in
Hmm.
Vietnam to come back against like scammer and fishers.
Hmm.
And another awards in the Middle East that
Hmm.
kind of like tough finds threat hunters.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, something that kind of encouraged me to keep doing well
Hmm.
and doing something good for the society. I also collaborate with United Nations
Hmm.
and the Global Anti-Scam Alliance, and yeah, some
And
of
you,
the major one like Anti-Phishing Working Group,
hmm
Virus Total, yeah, stuff like
Yep.
that.
Fantastic. And I mean, where we got intersected was through Interpol as well, because you've been doing
Right,
a lot of help with the
Interpol,
projects, Interpol,
right.
which is fantastic as well.
Interpol, like I kind of like supporting and
Mhm.
doing raising cybersecurity awareness and prevention stuff, right? It's
Fantastic.
fun,
So what's next for you? What's the future look like for you? I mean, now that you've had this
right?
whirlwind journey, kind of, where you had a path that led you down
Right.
a very dark path, and then you saw the light, and I've changed around. What's on the horizon? What are you looking to do in the near future?
That's a good question though. Always, like hoping that one day I can go around the world
Mhm.
and come back to the US, sharing my story with the younger generation. I really want, to get back to the jail and prison to motivate the prisoner to
Mhm.
do the right thing and stay
Mhm.
positive. No,
Yep.
no matter where they go, they still be
Mhm.
able to can learn to learn and to improve themselves.
Yep.
No matter what kind of situation and circumstances, they still able to do something right and something good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Life is a
that's what
learning.
in my main goals in the future,
Mhm.
and mentoring and guiding these younger
Mhm.
generation, helping them to do to build good products,
Mhm.
especially like cybersecurity products and service to help their societies.
Absolutely.
Instead of doing the bad things, you can make a lot of money doing the
Yeah.
right thing.
Yeah. If you put your energy and passion into, what
Right.
you enjoy doing, the financial side will come. It might take longer, it might be more difficult to do, but it does
Right.
come. It does come. That's the thing. Any kind of final words that you'd like to leave? What's some of the kind of resources or things that you would recommend the audience to go to in order to help them? Maybe there's some people on the audience that's, in that early stage as well. Is there resources or places you would point them to that would help them
Right.
find the right path? Maybe a book, or is there some type of educational resource or website that would?
To me, the best thing for young hackers that is they should go to the right communities. for them to learn and improve themselves and get connected with the good people. And I recommend young hackers that should go to like these platform like bug bounty programs
Yes.
where they can learn and improve that themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they can freely hack any company they want, and they still can get awards, doing the right thing, helping the
Absolutely.
company to get fixed. And the second thing, they can, attending any possible capture the flash event to hanging out and build communities with other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can grow. And one of the last is why that, I always recommend people that never give up on your dream, like keep doing the right thing. And when you do the right things, the good things will happen to you for
I
sure.
completely agree. I think what you're saying.
Right. Like it just be patient, and one day you will get there.
Yeah.
And the roads ahead, it will be open and very wide open for you. But if you go too fast, like live fast, die young. That's what they say, right? That's why, you live good, you die young. You good, easy money, easy go. The same thing like me. All the money I earned before, it's all gone.
Yep.
It's gone, completely gone. But the thing is, what you have is like the knowledge, and you can use that to do the right thing.
Totally.
And when you do the right things, good things will happen to you for sure.
I think it reminds me of something you said earlier.
Right.
It was that when you meet, it's a judge of the people around you. If you surround yourself with good people, that's the positive side. And I think what you mentioned around doing things like bug bounties and capture the flag,
right?
You quickly surround yourself with people who's doing it for the right reasons and good people,
right?
And that will definitely help you on the path.
A lot, because they will motivate you, and you learn from them.
Yep.
And then it's good community. And you saw them, they still hacking, they doing good, they do the right thing, they still make a lot of money.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Right, they having fun, and they they can go anywhere they want with a laptop. That's all they want.
Yeah,
really, right.
Absolutely. So Hieu, it's been awesome having you on, and I think this episode is definitely an important lesson.
Right.
About how to make sure that you understand kind of the potential consequences of actions, and also the possibility of using it in a positive way that allows you to have still that same freedom and enjoyment in the future. It's been awesome having you on. Many thanks, and I really hopefully we'll get to see each other in some event or some conference or some possibility in the future. It'd be fantastic. So for the audience, this is, share this episode with your friends or people, or maybe individuals who that are on that verge of making a decision about their future. I think this is an important, definitely lesson. So many thanks for sharing your story with the audience.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your invitation, and so many time that I miss your kind of your interview, and then I do apologize about that.
No problem at all. So for everyone in the audience, this is the Security by Default podcast.
Right.
Tune in every 2 weeks, stay up to date, subscribe, share with your friends, and I look forward to speaking with you on future episodes. So all the best and take care.
Thank you. All the best.